If you've been putting off building that ultimate team and you want Team of the Season's legends, informs, footies, etc., etc., go to ufifa.com and use the code TVM at the checkout to get yourself a whopping 8% discount. That's right, 8%. The link can be found down in the description. Go check them out. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome to a brand new series where we don't just predict who's going to win the league, but we're going to do a weekly roundup of the results in the Premier League. We're going to throw in some action as well, some real-life clips and things like that if I'm allowed to do it. We'll see what I can get away with here on the YouTubes. But also, we're going to tie this into the fantasy football that we're doing as well. If you do want to join the fantasy football, by the way, you've got until Saturday morning about 11 AM to get your squad ready. At the moment, you can build it and chop and change it as many times as you like before about 11 AM Saturday morning, I think. And then when the football kicks off at 3, or rather 12 o'clock is the deadline, it shuts off and you can only make one transfer. I think it's 1 or 2 transfers a week maximum. There are certain other things you can do as well, but go check it out. The link is in the description and the code for the league is in there as well. So let me talk about my predictions for the league table then, because I've been very vocal in my LGS series about who I believe is going to win the Premier League. And a lot of you have been saying, hey, put your money where your mouth is, mate. Put it in a video and let the world know what you think and see what they think, which is going to be interesting because I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this, but we're going to just roll with it and see what happens. Now, the common thought process that goes through everybody's mind is, right, relegated teams, who's going to go down? The 3 that come up. It very rarely happens like that. One of them definitely will go down, let's be honest with each other. But then the other 2 are always fighting for survival. One of them is just rock bottom constantly, and then the other one sort of struggling in, and the other one seems to be all the way out, really. So I'm going to go with 2 teams that come up are going to go down, and boom, they're on the screen right now. Bournemouth, in my opinion, I know a lot of people have been going, hey, they've strengthened, they've got these players, they've got this, they're going to do well. I don't think they're going to do that well. First season in the Premier League is always difficult, but for Bournemouth, who have, I don't think have ever, well, definitely not experienced the modern Premier League, I don't think they're going to be able to cope with the pressure of it, and I think they're going to crumble. I'm not saying that they're going to, like, get 3 points in a season and that'll be it, but I do reckon that they're going to finish bottom of the league. Of course, if I'm wrong here, I'm wrong, but I still think they're going to get relegated. Watford are in there as well, because again, they've come up, but I don't think that they've strengthened in any great deal where I think they're actually going to make a massive stance. I don't think they're really going to fight for their survival that well. I think, again, they could easily finish bottom. And Sunderland, I think, are going to creep in there. Norwich will, just about, in my opinion, stay safe. Sunderland were teetering last season. It was between them and Newcastle. In fact, I have the league table in front of me right now. So do you in the bottom right-hand corner of this screen. Sunderland and Newcastle both finished on 38 and 39 points. Newcastle with the 39 points, and Villa finished beneath them. They were 3 points clear of the relegation zone come the end of it. So Villa are going to be lucky to stay up, especially when they've lost Delph and Benteke. Of course, Benteke, the goal machine that they've lost. But I think Sunderland haven't strengthened at all. Yunus Kabul is the only player that I know of that's actually signed for Sunderland. I might be wrong there. I know he's gone there, definitely, but I don't think they've signed anyone else, especially someone who's going to keep them up. So I think Sunderland are going to go down. Next teams are as follows. Norwich in 17th, Leicester in 16th, Newcastle in 15th. I don't think Newcastle are going to do very well at all this year. They finished, again, like I said, down there. They did finish down there. In fact, I've got them to finish exactly where they finished last season. If they were to get relegated next season, or this season coming, I should say, it wouldn't surprise me, to be perfectly honest with you, because I haven't really, I mean, they've bought a couple of players, but, like, not enough. I don't think they've bought enough. They need a better defence, in my opinion, and they just don't have it, and they're running out of time. Aston Villa are going to go 3 better than what they did last season. West Brom are going to finish in exactly the same place as what they did, which is 13th. Southampton, who had a very good season, finishing in 7th place season just gone. I think they're going to slip down again. They haven't really made an awful lot in the way of signings. They've lost Schneidlin and Klein. So I know last season everybody got it wrong. Everybody thought Southampton were going to go down. I thought they were going to be down there. I didn't think they'd get relegated, but I thought they'd be down there. And They proved everybody wrong, so well done to them, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it this season. I think 12th place is about right. And then Swansea. Swansea, again, a team who are not really doing an awful lot in the window. I am, of course, filming this on the 4th of August, or nearly the 5th now, because it's nearly midnight. But okay, obviously teams have got time left to make transfers and so on, but based on what the market is right now and what everyone's squad is right now, I think this is what the lower half of the table will look like. Now, if we go into the top half, I've cut it off at 7th because obviously the European places start there. Now, this is very controversial, this side of things, because West Ham, who I believe will do very well. In fact, West Ham and Crystal Palace, I would not be surprised if they finished in sort of 8th, 7th. But I've been a little bit conservative. They've strengthened, and they've strengthened well. Crystal Palace, if they can keep hold of Balassi, not that he's a massive game changer and he's a world beater, I think he'll definitely do well again if he stays at Palace. If he moves on to a bigger club, he's going to have problems, and then so are Crystal Palace. That's why I've kind of put them 9th. West Ham and those, those two could easily swap places or even go up a little bit higher. Tottenham is a team that I don't necessarily fear for them, because I don't like Tottenham in the sense of they are direct competition with my team, which is Liverpool. So I think 8th is about right for Tottenham. They haven't strengthened. They've lost a lot of players. They're going to be heavily reliant on Harry Kane this season. And I don't think he's going to be able to carry the entire team on his shoulders, which is, at the moment, is what he's going to have to do. Because who do they have? Christian Eriksen, Harry Kane, and Hugo Lloris are the only 3 outstanding players there for me. Those are the world-class players. And Harry Kane's only had 1 good season. Will he be able to carry his form over? I think he will, but there's an awful lot of pressure. And if he gets injured, they are screwed. They need to make some signings. I kind of hope they do in a way, but they're going to struggle if they don't. They could easily finish 10th. Easily. Stoke have strengthened very, very well. They did very well last season, of course. They finished in 9th. And I think 7th is in and about right place. If Tottenham strengthen, Tottenham will go above Stoke. But Stoke have strengthened very well. They've got an awful lot of ex-Barcelona players in there at the moment as well. Then they've got Walters, who is a goal machine. They've got Diouf, who scored quite a few. Crouch got quite a few last season as well. If you look on the fantasy football, he's actually one of the highest strikers in fantasy football for last season because he's scored that many goals. So they've got an awful lot of options there, and I think Stoke could do very well. Let's move into the 6th and 5th place teams, and there is a little bit of a surprise there. Yes, my biased view on this may be coming out a little bit. Everton in 6th. I kind of wanted to put Everton down. I really did. And not down relegation-wise. I wanted to put them below Stoke. But I think a 6th place Stoke finish is a little bit far-fetched. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Everton in and around 6th place is where I would think that they would finish. And that's where I kind of want them to finish, to be honest. Manchester City is another one that an awful lot of you would have just gone, huh? I know, but based on what's happening at the moment, Aguero, right, will get injured this season. He gets injured every season for at least 2 months, minimum, whether it be in one go or just in segments. He always gets injured, always. So he's gone. Yaya Toure is older, plus, not that age matters really, because Pirlo is still pinging it around the place, but Yaya Toure has African Cup of Nations duty, of course, so he'll be away. And then they don't really have an awful lot more options. Yes, they've brought in Sterling, but can he carry the whole team? Don't think so. Milner and Lampard were very, not underrated, but they were just sort of overlooked every single time. You think, oh, James Milner, he's not going to be very good. I know he's just signed for Liverpool, and I know I'm going to make him out to be this world-class player. But if you look at what he did for Man City last season, season before, he did an awful lot of work there, and he's a massive workhorse, and I think they're going to miss him. Delph is not the same player, as you've seen, really. He's not really going to give that much commitment. He's playing for a wage packet, not the passion, and I don't think Sterling's going to be able to bang 20, 30 goals in a season. He didn't do it for Liverpool. He can't do it for City. Well, he might be, but I don't think he will do. So I think unless they go out and make a couple of purchases, I think they are going to finish in 5th. Now, I think it's pretty obvious who's going to finish in 4th. Liverpool, that's right. I don't think Liverpool can expect to go any higher, and to be honest, if we make 4th, I'll be extremely happy. I think if Liverpool finish 5th or 6th, I'd be disappointed with 6th, to be honest. I think 5th is in and around where I would expect them bare minimum to finish, but 4th is where I am predicting the finish. I think that they've strengthened well. Benteke is going to get a lot of goals. If Danny Sturridge can remain fit as well, those two up front are going to be dangerous. Danny Ings is a very nice replacement as well. Roberto Firmino and Coutinho are going to do a great job in behind the strikers. Lallana's there as well. Lallana's an underused player, in my opinion. Rodgers doesn't really utilise his ability an awful lot, which is a shame. Origi is there as well, another great player. We've got too many strikers now. Balotelli, at the moment, still at the club. I think Barini is technically still at the club as well, so Liverpool need to shift some people on. Ricky Lambert, of course, moved to West Brom. He'll probably do well there, to be fair. If they can use him up top with Berahino, that'll be a decent partnership. But yeah, I think Liverpool have done enough signing-wise to finish 4th. If we can get a decent centre-back, who knows? But the top three are going to be very, very difficult to beat. Speaking of top three, controversial. Chelsea in third. Are you drunk, mate? No, wait a minute. Hold up. Who have Chelsea bought this season? Okay, so they went out and bought Falcao, who was a Man United reject. Will Mourinho get the best out of him? Yes, of course he will. It's Mourinho. However, is he a big catalyst player? No, I don't think he is. He's Falcao now. He's not Falcao. He's not this really scary thing. When he went to Man United, a lot of people were scared. Oh my God, we've got Falcao, is what every Man United fan was saying. Kind of what they did with Maria as well. Oh, Angel Di Maria's joined our club. Oh, we're going to win the league. But he didn't really perform. And neither did Falcao. So Chelsea, I don't think they're going to struggle. I just think that they're going to drop more points than what they did last season. And that's obviously not going to be good news. They lost against Arsenal in the Community Shield, which I don't think anyone really was expecting. I'm not saying I'm predicting this, but I thought Arsenal would definitely give Chelsea a game. And a game they gave them, and they beat them. I think Arsenal have got a very good team, which brings me to second place. And that is Arsenal. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be thinking, hang on a minute, that leaves a Manchester club who's going to finish top. I know, right? But Arsenal have got a very strong team. We'll get to them in a second. Arsenal have got a very strong team, but they do lack a defensive option. Now, obviously, Arsenal could finish third, Chelsea could finish second, but I am adamant that Man United will finish top of the league. Last season was unbelievable. They had a very, very poor squad, in my opinion. Yes, you can argue that Angel Di Maria, Robin van Persie, Rooney is, that's not a poor squad. But if we really, really think about it, Di Maria's first season in the Premier League wasn't the best. And they had Falcao, who, again, only scored 4 goals, I believe, in the entire season. They didn't do very well. Rooney had a bit of an indifferent season. And if I'm looking at their stats right now, they finished in 4th with an inferior side. It was quite scary, actually, how well Man United did. They started the season off very poorly, of course, and then they just really improved. And if we look, they've got 70 points. They're only 5 points adrift of Arsenal with a weakened team. Now, they've got Bastian Schweinsteiger. Yes, okay, it's his first season in the Premier League, but he's just world class. They've got Schneidlin, who's played in the Premier League for a few seasons now. He's going to be a good player. Ander Herrera is a massively underrated player, and I think he will have a very, very good season, building on what he did last season, of course. And if they can go out and get 1 or 2 more players, nothing massive, they've got Depay, of course, I forgot about him. They can go out and get another 1 or 2, nothing huge. If they can sell Maria, which I think is almost done, or if not done by now, they've got money. They can go out and buy more, and they've already got a really good team. They need a good centre-back, someone like Otamendi, something along those lines. If they can keep De Gea, they will win the league. And I'm not even saying that they're going to struggle to win it or they're going to scrape it. I think they'll do it quite comfortably. 5-6 points clear at the end of the season. It won't go down to the wire, in my opinion. I think they'll have it sewn up 2 or 3 weeks before the end of the season. I think Man United are going to do very, very well this year. I'm a Liverpool fan, first and foremost. Before you bash me for saying Man United are going to win the league, I hate Manchester United with a passion. I can't stand Ryan Giggs' face. However, there's no denying that they have a good team, and I think that they're going to cause an awful lot of problems this season. Those are my predictions for this season's Premier League. If we're going to go for Champions League winners, I'm just going to pick Champions League winner. Obviously, the French League and everything like that is quite obvious what's going to happen there. All the way up until I think the Italian League and the German League and the French League are all just like the Scottish League, really. There's only one team in it. Spanish League, it's between 2 again, I think, between Real Madrid and Barcelona. And I think, again, Barcelona have got it, really. I think there's too much squabbling, and Benitez is going to disrupt Madrid too much. Barcelona are just going to walk away with it. Champions League-wise, though, I'm not too sure on that one. I think Arsenal could have a good campaign. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League, but I would predict that Arsenal will make it to the semi-finals of the Champions League. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that right now. But again, you can't really look past Barcelona, can you? Do they have the best team in Europe? They might very well do. I think Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain final, if they don't meet each other along the way. I think that's what's going to happen in the Champions League final. And I think Barcelona will probably end up winning it 3-1, and a couple of Messi goals and then a Suarez goal to finish things off. That's my prediction. Who knows what's going to happen, though. We've got this video as a record just in case we get that far with it. Now, every week, I'm thinking probably Monday evening, given the fact that there will be Monday League football on. Monday evening, I will do a weekend roundup. If there's midweek football, we'll do one midweek as well. If Champions League is on, I will probably do a Champions League roundup, even though Liverpool don't have European football this season. But I will do it anyway because football is a passion, so why not? Now, if you want to get involved in this predicting scores and getting points on the board, and we can do a weekly update about our fantasy football, then go to the description, click the link, enter the code to enter the league, and you'll be in it for game week 1. If you're watching this after game week 1, which is after the Saturday, this coming Saturday, August the 8th, I believe, something along those lines, then don't worry, you can still get involved. You'll just be a little bit behind, and again, the link is still in the description for you to click. If you've enjoyed it, lads, please smack that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and also let me know what team you support and where you think they will finish in the league. If you support a team outside of the Premier League, let me know who they are and where you think they're going to finish in the league. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, till the next time, goodbye. Thinking of building or upgrading a PC? Then go to ebuyer.com and check out the new line of Crucial BX100 SSDs. They start from about £51 for the 120GB version. They go all the way up to 1TB versions as well. They've all got 9 ratings or above. They are reliable. The link is in the description. Go check them out.